everybody, and welcome to Ed's Boat. Right, this episode, and quite a few episodes in the future, it's all going to be about wiring and the electrics and everything else that goes with it. So one of the problems I've been having was my alternator. The alternator that came with the boat was a horrible thing. I couldn't get any joy out of it, couldn't get it to work, and I was going to service it and repair it, but the price of a new one was not that much more than a service repair kit. So I bought a new one and it arrived, so it was just a question of put it in and see what happens. So this is how it went. Well, I've lashed up the original control box. We're going to rebuild this and put a new one in, but for the time being we've got all temporary wiring down to the battery at the back there, but I have got my isolator switch in, we've got all the proper terminals made and cables, and we're in a battery tray, so when it's all done we can strap that down properly. So what we need to do is have a look. Now if you have a look out onto the canal here, you can see that there's quite a bit of ice on the canal, and this is an old Lister engine which doesn't have heaters, or what do they call, heater coils to get it started. So what we're going to do is we're just going to try and see whether our new alternator, and there she is nice and shiny. Now this was listed as the same alternator I had originally, but originally the adjustment bracket went there and I've had to make a bracket and move it here because the lug seems to be the other side, so it wasn't quite the same, but it doesn't matter. We've made it fit and it's all right, and the original belt will go on it, but we will get a replacement one or a spare one at least for that. So we need to check now if I've wired it up correctly. This should be good. So on the control panel, if I get the key and turn it on, that red light should come on. That's good. So next thing to do is start the engine. So will the engine go? Okay, the engine's going, okay, but the red light's not going out. So what we might need to do is put some more revs on the engine, see if we can get some more electricity. It means stepping out onto the dangerous back end. Let's put some revs on so that red light goes out. And there it is. Red light's out. So what that means is it should be charging the battery properly now. Well, I hope so, but we're going to test that. So we'll go back and do all this again and we'll test that. But the engine, I started it a few minutes earlier because of the cold weather, but it didn't start too bad, and it doesn't seem that bothered now that it's icy outside. So we'll probably shut the engine off now because it's getting very loud. We'll wait for the marina engineer to come over and have a look, and we'll put the tester on the battery and we'll find out whether we are charging or not. But in theory, if the light goes out, we should be putting electricity into the battery, which is a good thing. Then that means that I can just redo all the wires one at a time all the way through to the control box, well, the new control box, and make it all nice and neat. So we'll hang on a minute just for the electrical test and we'll see how well we're doing. Well, the alternator check was a great success and it's kicking out a healthy 14.4 volts, which is just what I was looking for. So that's great. Now, yesterday it was icy and it was cold and it was horrible, so we stayed inside and did some work on the wiring. And then it rained all through the night, and then I've come here today to the marina and it was a bit wet this morning, but the sun's out and it's beautiful. And what a difference 24 hours makes. Now, on a day like this, we should really be getting out into the back of the boat around the engine bay and checking things over and start installing wiring while the weather's still good. But you know what? Sometimes you just think, let's go boating.
rays pouring in to my window. Every day the same sunny situation. Rocking in my shades with the top down on the highway. Yeah, that's LA. Never slowing down, never growing up. Chilling in the sand, waiting for that wave to come rolling over me. Floating out at sea, keeping everything classic, so photographic. Never slowing down, never growing up. Chilling in the sand, waiting for that wave to come rolling over me. Floating out at sea, keeping everything classic, so photographic. And we all love that bright blue sky, and never have to wonder why those big dark clouds won't go away, 'cause they hardly ever show up. Anyways, bright rays pouring in to my window. Every day the same sunny situation. Rocking in my shades with the top down on the highway. Yeah, that's LA. Never slowing down, never growing up. Chilling in the sand, waiting for that wave to come rolling over me. Floating out at sea, keeping everything classic, so photographic. Bright rays pouring in to my window. Every day the same sunny situation. Rocking in my shades with the top down on the highway. Yeah, that's LA.
of real-time boating and me going out in it for a few hours. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. I had a great time, and it just sort of motivates me a bit more to get the boat finished. And that turning at the windy hole there, that was my first ever turn. So that was one thing ticked off the list, I suppose, turning the boat round. The clunk that was going on, I don't know if you noticed that with the camera, but that was a piece of wood I was using to steady the tripod that the camera was on, and it kept shaking off and falling off, which was a bit annoying. But there we are. So I've had such a good couple of days that I thought I'd just share that with you. Right, now just to press on in future with the control box and all the electrics that go in. Probably won't put a video up for a little while now while I sort all that out, because that's not going to make very good viewing, me just connecting up loads and loads of different wires and scratching my head and getting very confused. But what we'll do is we'll review all that when it's all finished. But in the meantime, take care, and I'll see you soon.